Hello all. So welcome to my class. Myself Rahul. I'm from Electrical and Electronics department. So in basics of electrical and electronics engineering, first chapter is elementary concept of DC electric circuits and its analysis. I am using a textbook called Basics of Electrical and Electronics Engineering by Anish P. Tangachan. It is based on 2019 syllabus. Also, there are various previous K2 questions is attached or included in this textbooks. So, I will send you the soft copy. You can buy them after the lockdown. So, what is an electric circuit? Electric circuit is a closed path followed by electric current, right? A closed path in which direct current flows is called as DC circuit. So DC circuit have voltages, currents that do not vary with time. So we need to analyze a circuit by solving the circuit to find what is a definite voltage in a network and a specific place, what will be a current and a voltage is passing through in a network, because it is very essential for understanding the for the design and understand design of the electrical devices. Okay, so in this chapter we will discuss about basic terminologies like voltage, current, power, energy, electromotive force or EMF, resistance, capacitance, inductance, etc. We'll discuss about the resistance and the cara or change in the value of when a resistance is connected in series as well as in parallel. Also the current voltage division rules, Ohm's laws, Kirchhoff laws, mesh and nodal analysis. This two portion is very much important in the first chapter because we need a mathematical solution of problems. Also there is a star delta conversion as the final part. So what is the concept of an electric current? Actually, by Bose-Rutherford concept, there is a central part called the nucleus, which consists of protons as well as neutrons. Protons is having a positive charge as well as neutrons having no charge. But due to the attraction of nucleus, electrons, which is situated as in the orbits, elliptical orbits around this nucleus, held towards the nucleus. Okay, it is something like planets moving around sun. In normal atom, the number of protons is equal to number of electrons. You all know that. But an atom as a whole is electric neutral because number of proton is equal to number of electron which provide an atom and neutrality. Okay, but the outermost shell, which is called a valence shell, right? Valence shell is having electrons which is not much tightly packed due to the weaker force of attraction from the nucleus. In some atoms, such valence electrons are loosely bound to the nucleus, that at room temperature, if we provide an additional energy, there is a chance of escaping of such electrons. They are known as free electrons. Such free electrons is the basic responsibility of flow of electric current through metals. There are such metals like copper, silver, aluminum, which are known as conductors, which is having such free electrons. So they can easily conduct electricity. So if we provide an electric effort for the drift of such free electrons in one particular direction, it can be termed as electromotive force or simply EMF. If we provide a battery source or electric cell to a metal which is having valence electrons loosely bound, you can take out that electrons. Normally, conventionally we are taking the current flow is from positive to negative, but consider thing like a flow of electrons is from negative to positive. Actually it is from negative to positive, but for the analyzing purpose we are taking the conventional direction of current as positive to negative. Okay. So the drift of electrons in a conductor in one direction is known as electric current. Drift of electrons in free electrons. Drift of free electrons in one direction can be termed as what? Electric current. Okay. So the direction of conventional current is from positive to negative terminal, while the direction of flow of current is always from negative to positive. That is an important point to be noted. The normal current is from negative to positive terminal current direction, or the flow of electron is from negative to positive terminal, but we take it conventionally as positive to negative. Okay. Then what is the relation between charge and current? What is meant by charge? Charge is the quantity of electricity, right? We are having 1 coulomb. Charges are taken, the unit of charge is coulomb. 1 coulomb is 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. That means the amount of charge flowing through a conductor in t second can be indicated by Q, and the current is indicated by I. That is, I is equal to Q by T. Q is in coulombs and T is in seconds. That means coulomb per second, right? The current is the amount of charge per unit second. So you can term it as rate of transfer of electric charge, right? So quantity of electric charge transferred during a given time divided by time duration can be termed as electric current, or dq by dt. By integrating, you will get Q is equal to integral I dt, where I is the small amount of current for a fraction of second, fraction of time dt. Okay. So if a question came like define 1 ampere, that means if a charge of 1 coulomb is transferred through a given point in 1 second, the transfer of 1 coulomb per second. We know that the 1 coulomb is 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 number of electrons. That means 1 ampere current can be termed as flow of how much electrons? 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 electrons per second, right? So in order for a conduction or a flow of electrons, we need two things. One is we need a complete circuit. The circuit must be closed. There must be a closed circuit. The other thing is we need an electric effort, which is known as electromotive force. There is a driving influence to cause this continuous flow. The driving influence can be termed as electromotive force. So what is current? Current is the rate of charge of electric charge. That is dq by dt, rate of change of electric charge. Or 1 ampere current can be termed as flow of 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 electrons per second. Necessary condition for current flow is, continuous current flow is, one is we need a closed circuit, other is we need a drifting force or driving force, which is known as electromotive force. What is electric potential and what is potential difference? Electric potential means work done per charge, or W by Q. The electric potential at a point due to a charge is 1 volt if 1 joule of work is done in bringing a unit positive charge. ഒരു യൂണിറ്റ് പോസിറ്റീവ് ചാർജിനെ മൂവ് ചെയ്ത് കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ എടുക്കുന്ന എമൗണ്ട്. Okay, the positive charge of 1 coulomb from infinity to that point. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് electric potential. So electric potential is work done per charge. EMF is also known as electric potential. Unit of EMF is voltage itself. Unit of potential difference is also voltage. When work done of 1 joule and the charge is moved as 1 coulomb, the potential is called 1 volt. Okay, so W is in joules, Q is in coulomb. So 1 joule work is done in bringing a charge of 1 coulomb. It can be termed as 1 volt. Then what is potential difference? the difference between the electric potential at any two given points. Let us consider 2 points A and B. A is having a potential V1 and B is having a potential V2. If V1 is higher than V2, there will be a charge flow from higher potential to lower potential, that is V1 to V2. This is called a potential difference. Potential difference is the difference between voltage itself. So the unit is also volt itself, and the symbol as V. Potential difference is the difference between the electric potentials at any two given points in a circuit. Okay, we'll compare these two things: electromotive force EMF and potential difference PD. Okay, EMF, it is the difference of potential between two electrodes of a cell or a battery. It need not be a closed circuit, so it can be an open circuit. In an open circuit, in a cell or battery, if the potential between 2 points, that means plus and minus terminal, is the EMF of that battery. Okay, potential difference is the difference in potential between 2 points, that is in a closed circuit only. The terms is used strictly for the source of supply of electricity, like we said earlier. In a cell or a dynamo, the output voltage can be termed as electromotive force. So it is not a closed circuit, it is an open circuit. But potential difference exists only in a circuit, in a closed circuit. It is measured between 2 points in a closed circuit. In EMF, third point, it does not depend upon the resistance of the circuit. EMF is not in a closed circuit, it is in an open circuit. So resistance is not a dependent factor. In the case of potential difference, resistance is an important factor because it opposes the flow of electrons in the closed circuit. So potential difference between 2 points is proportional to the resistance between 2 points in the circuit. In the case of EMF, it exists even when the circuit is not closed. In the case of potential difference, it exists even when it occurs only when the circuit is closed, because then only the current flows. Okay. EMF will be always greater than potential difference between any 2 points of a conductor, but potential difference will be always less than EMF. EMF is greater than potential difference. Both are measured in volts. 6 point, both are measured in volts. The cause of current in a circuit is EMF, but the effect of current is potential difference, or V. V is the effect of current in the conductor. And the final point, it is due to the conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. Like in the case of battery, the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, which is called as EMF or electromotive force. But in the case of a closed circuit, the fall in potential, like we said in the previous example, V1 is higher, V2 is lower. So it is due to the fall in potential along a resistance in a circuit. Potential difference is always proportional to the resistance between 2 points. Okay. Then we will compare about the voltage and current. Voltage, also known as electromotive force, as we said earlier, it is the energy per unit charge, or the voltage is the difference in electric potential between 2 points. Right? Current means it is the rate of change of electric charge. So when we apply an electromotive force, there will be flow of current. The unit of voltage is volt, that is 1 joule per second. SI unit of voltage is volt, 1 joule per coulomb, not second, it is 1 joule per coulomb. The SI unit of current is ampere. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. 1 ampere is 1 coulomb per second. Voltage is normally denoted by capital V and current is denoted by capital I. The voltage can be measured by using a voltmeter. The current meter can be done by using a ammeter. Okay. Voltage is work done per unit charge. Unit work done by unit charge is 1 volt. Similarly, charge per time is current. Amount of charge per unit time is current. Loss of voltage occurs due to impedance, but the loss of current occurs due to passive element. What is the difference between passive and active element? Passive element and active element we will discuss in the nearby chapters. I think first chapter of electronics, fourth module of the whole syllabus is from electronics department. In that chapter we will discuss about passive element, active element, etc. So loss of voltage occurs due to impedance in the circuit, but in the case of current it is due to the passive element like resistors, capacitors, inductors, etc. Okay, voltage creates an electrostatic force, but current creates a magnetic force. Voltage produces an electrostatic force. Plus and minus is accumulated in the both sides of the terminal, but in the case of current, whenever a current is passed through a conductor, there is a magnetic field associated with that. In the case of series connection, voltage changes. It gets distributed over all the components. If V1, V2, V3, V4, etc. are the voltages, then the total voltage is V. It is divided like if V is connected in series. V1, V2, V3, etc. are connected in series, there will be total voltage of V. In series connection, current remains same. In the connection, we will discuss this the same in the connection of resistors in series and parallel. In the series connection, current remains the same through all the component, but in the case of voltage, it gets distributed over the connection. In parallel connection, voltage remains the same, but the current distributed all over the component. This is the change. This way we will discuss in the resistance connected in series and parallel. Then what is resistance? It is a property offered by a substance. It is a property offered by a substance to oppose the flow of electric charge or simply electrons. The opposition offered by a substance to the flow of electric current can be termed as resistance. It is represented by capital R and the symbol is shown in the figure. Resistance is your resistance measured in ohms. Capital R is the symbol. Okay, so what is resistance? The unit of resistance is ohm. Actually, it is omega, but it is written as ohm in the remembrance of the scientist George Simon Ohm. So, another definition: a wire is said to have a resistance of 1 ohm if a voltage of or a potential difference of 1 voltage across it ends cause 1 ampere current to flow. So resistance is proportional to voltage and current. Wire is said to have a resistance of 1 ohm if we apply a voltage of 1 volt and hence a current of 1 ampere flows around it. Okay, there is a 4 points connected with the loss of resistance. The resistance is represented by capital R. R is proportional to length of the conductor L, area of cross section A, and it depends upon temperature and it depends upon the nature of material. The resistance of copper is different from the resistance of aluminium. The resistance of aluminium differs from the resistance of silver. Some are good conductors of electricity, which is having less resistance. Some are insulators, which is having high resistance. Some are semiconductors, which is having some free electrons. Hence, it is having a partial resistance, not high, not low. So, R is proportional to length L. So, R is proportional to length L and inversely proportional to area of cross section of conductor A, capital A. So for a proportionality constant, we are putting a constant known as rho. So R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is called the resistivity of the material or specific resistance. R is equal to rho L by A. So from the equation we can say resistance is directly proportional to the length L, resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section A, resistance depends upon the nature of the material, also it depends upon the temperature. Coming to George Simon Ohm, by Ohm's law, it is stated that a voltage V between two terminals carrying a current of I will be proportional, or V is directly proportional to I. V is the voltage applied or the potential difference between 2 points, and I is the current flowing through that conductor. Then V is proportional to I, or V is equal to IR, where R is a constant, R is the resistance itself. It can be easily calculated by this triangle. V is equal to IR, I is equal to V by R, or V is equal to, or R is equal to V by I. So simply you can take these three equations from the Ohm's law, Ohm's triangle, law triangle. Okay, Ohm's law states that at a constant temperature, voltage V is directly proportional to current, where the constant of proportionality can be termed as resistance R. There are some limitations for Ohm's law which is out of our syllabus, but still we can discuss that thing. Semiconductors, diode like semiconductor diodes, vacuum tubes, transistors, they are all active devices. Thyristors, liquid electrolytes, electric arc, they does not obey Ohm's law. So Ohm's law fails in these devices like diodes, vacuum tubes, transistors, thyristors, etc. Okay. Next we will discuss about the resistance connected in series as well as parallel. Consider two or more resistance R1, R2, R3 connected in a series. Series means end-to-end connection. One point is connected to the starting point of other. So R1, R2, R3 are connected in series to a voltage V. So due to the voltage, there will be a voltage drop across R1 which is termed as V1, R2 which is termed as V2, R3 which is termed as V3. That means current will be same in R1, R2, R3, but the voltage will be different depending upon the resistance R1, R2, R3. So I is equal to V1 is equal to I into R1, V2 is equal to I into R2, V3 is equal to I into R3, or V is equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, or V is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. So simply in a series connection of resistance, the resistance simply add up to each other. The equivalent resistance or actual resistance of the total circuit is R1 plus R2 plus R3. So equivalent resistance is the sum of the resistance. If n resistors are connected, so n into R ആയിരിക്കും അതിന്റെ resistance. Okay, similarly in the case of parallel combination means starting points are connected together and ending points are connected together and connected to a battery. Consider similar resistance R1, R2, R3 which is connected in parallel like this. In this case, current will be different. I1 is different depending upon R1, I2 is different, and I3 is different. So I is divided into three branches, I1, I2 and I3. So in the case of parallel resistance, voltage will be same across the resistance, but current will be different. And the total resistance can be taken as Rs or 1 by Rp. Rp is parallel, it represents parallel. 1 by Rp is equal to equivalent resistance. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance of a number of resistance connected in parallel is equal to the reciprocals of the individual resistance. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 etc. up to 1 by Rn. If there is n identical resistance, total resistance equivalent resistance is equal to R by n. If 5 ohm is connected in 3 branches, 5 plus 5 is connected in 3 branches in a parallel circuit, then 5 by 3 will be the equivalent resistance. or you can take it as Rp is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 if only two resistance are there. Product by sum. Product of the resistance divided by sum give the equivalent resistance of a parallel combination. So coming back once again to the series and parallel network, in series current through all resistors will be the same. In parallel, voltage across each resistor will be the same. In series, voltage across each resistance will be proportional to the value of the same resistance. So V is proportional to the value of the same resistance. But in the case of parallel circuit, the current through any resistor is inversely proportional to the resistance 1 by R. Total voltage across a series connected resistance is the sum of the individual voltages. V1 plus V2 plus V3 gives V. But in the case of parallel network, the total current is I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Equivalent resistance in the case of series resistance is R is equal to Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. But in the case of parallel resistance, it is 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 etc. up to 1 by Rn. If n resistance of R ohm each means all the resistance connected in a series resistance is same, then total resistance will be n into R. If all resistance R of same value, R ohms, is connected in parallel, the total or equivalent resistance is R by n ohm. So, ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഒന്നുകൂടെ പറയാം, ഒന്നുകൂടെ നോക്കാം. First we went through the basic structure of an atom, then concept of electromotive force and electricity, what is valence electron and all, what is EMF, difference between EMF and potential difference, what is the relation between charge and current, what is the relation I is equal to Q by T, rate of change of charge. Rate of change of charge is termed as current. Okay, all the definition important ആണ്. What is electric potential and what is EMF എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ടാബ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. Then comparison between voltage and current, connection of a resistance in series and parallel. This is all for today. You have to write the brief note in your notebook and submit within stipulated time. I will upload the date and time in your Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.